Last night was the second to last episode of The Last of Us. This really burns me, man. I do not want this show to end at this point or fairly any other point. I am loving this series so much. I love this series passionately. And last night was the new episode. And I will tell you, by the way, a little bit later this afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's 6 p.m. East Coast time, we're going to be doing our Last of Us open spoiler discussion after show. So if you want to have a discussion in all things open spoilery, come on back and join us for that. We'll just give our basic impressions of the episode in this one, though. This episode was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And to me, it was what I was looking for going into it. I remember talking to Ann, I said, tonight's the episode where really we should be seeing, I mean, for people who know the series of Last of Us, Ellie has a part of her that is a monster. And we haven't really seen the birth of the monster yet. And I remember telling Ann going into it, I think tonight we're going to start to see the birth of the monster side of her. Like, not that she completely becomes a monster, but there's a part of her, right? That's pretty visceral. And I think if they do it well, tonight we're going to see the birth of it. Oh my God. Did they nail that? Did they ever nail that? And by the way, to see the guy who does the voice of Joel in the video games get a really significant, meaty part to play.
Good old Troy Baker.
Troy Baker, he was wonderful in the episode. And I think, going back now, I never thought of it before, but I think it was the last episode, the flashback episode. The transition is now complete. The Last of Us was Joel's show. It is now Ellie's show. And I think that transition began last week. I think this now solidifies it, that the story of Last of Us is now pretty definitively Ellie's story. And Joel is now still a very, very important figure, continue to be an important figure in the show. But it's now to accent Ellie. And the way they played, and I remember before I watched the episode, because we had some friends over last night, and as we were getting ready, so we watched it about an hour after it came out, and as we were sitting down to watch it, I got a text from a buddy of mine that said, this is, what's the actress's name who plays Ellie again?
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey wrote to me and said, this episode is Bella Ramsey's Emmy resume. Mm-hmm. This was her play. This episode was her play at an Emmy. I'm like, okay, well, fans, we all blow things up. I watched the episode and I'm like, yeah, this is Bella Ramsey's play at an Emmy right here. It was utterly fantastic. I both lament that next week is the last episode, and I'm wondering, because I was talking to Ryan last night, it's like, how are they going to wrap this whole thing up in one episode? But they can do it. Anyway, Chris, you saw last night's episode of Last of Us. What do you think about it?
Oh, man, this was a great episode, and it absolutely is Bella's episode. I mean, she just really, really delivers in this. That final noise in that one scene, as I'm trying to be as non-spoilerly as possible. I mean, what they also did, we're at the point in the show where I started switching to just the cinematic cuts because Logan stopped playing the game because it got too spooky. So it was really fun to watch with him because he had no idea what was happening. He also still has no idea what happens to anyone in the future. So now he's coming into this completely, unaware of the plot and everything. And what they kept in worked really, really well. What they took away so they could add other elements in this episode fired on all cylinders. Because I was wondering about some of the other moments in this, some of the kind of bait and switch kind of things, how they were going to play out since we knew a little bit more of these characters. And it really just developed them so much better and stronger for the purpose of television, right? If you're going to have this single episode to get to know some people and a community and things like that, you really, really need to dive into their social dynamics, their society, and how these people operate. And they did that so well. And Bella Ramsey is just on fire in this episode. She just did such almost literally, yeah. She's so incredible in this one. And man, there is a single line that those of us who have played the game or watched those cuts have been waiting for as well. And when it's delivered, just tears. So good.
Is it
So
actually two
good.
words combined to make one
It's
without saying it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a part that you see in one of the previews for the episode where Bella Ramsey, Ellie, is having a conversation with a guy on the opposite side of a cage. Like there's a cage involved, and I'll just say her performance in that whole series of scenes where she's in that cage made my jaw drop. Like just absolutely made my jaw drop. Like both her and Pedro Pascal. And it just makes me go, because again, last night I was slipping through YouTube, and because I looked them up before, they're still my recommendation list. These videos from like a year ago about all these channels talking about how they've already ruined The Last of Us because the casting of Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal. And I just had some fun watching these videos going, whoo, this did not age well. But they are both absolutely killing it. The show is fantastic. Anyway, guys, question is for you. How do you top a pedophile cannibal as a villain in this show? That's a tough one. That's a tough one to top. How did you guys think about that episode? Whatever you guys think, jump on down into in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I made the switch over to Mint Mobile a while ago. The process couldn't have been easier, and I can't believe that I am spending less than a third of what I was spending on one of the other major carriers before. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.